The next question is a very important one because a lot of people go through this. What should a Christian do when they're struggling? Now, the point here is about a Christian, which the answer would be different for a non-Christian. A Christian has still the difficulty of being obedient to God and having the opportunity to sin even after they're saved. So I need to make sure you understand that. What should a Christian do when they're struggling with addiction or chained by sinful ways? One of the best scriptures for a Christian to look at is 1 Corinthians 10:13. Here's what it says. No temptation has overtaken you except as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you're able, but with the temptation will make a way of escape that you may be able to bear it. Now, some people take that to mean, that means God wouldn't let me have anything that they didn't already know I'm having a problem with. Well, that's not really what it says. What it's saying is that when a temptation comes, God's going to be faithful to you. It don't matter what the temptation is. If you're being tempted, God's going to be faithful. Now, let me explain what that is, give you an example of that. The story of Israel, when they went into the wilderness and go into the promised land, they rebelled against God. They murmured against God. But God never left them. He had a cloud by day to protect them from the sun. He had a fire by night to keep them warm in the desert. He fed them supernaturally food from heaven, manna they called it, every day. He had clothes on their body and shoes on their feet that didn't ever wear out for 40 years. That's a pretty good accomplishment. And grew with the children. Now, how he did all this, I don't know, but that's what was done. There was no retail stores. There were no grocery markets. It was just God and these people in the midst of the desert for 40 years. But he provided every single thing they needed in spite of the rebellion they showed against him. That's our God. So when you have an addiction, you're going to find yourself stumbling. You'll do well, then you won't do so well. The thing, if I can say to you right now, is God knows that we are tempted and that we fail. The thing to do is not get discouraged and give up, but to get back up. Like a child riding a little bicycle. My granddaughter last week, I was teaching her to ride her bicycle. She fell, bummed up her knees. It was a terrible experience. But you know what? Next day, she's back on her bicycle. So that's the thing to remember. You're going to stumble and sin. Get back up. There's no temptation he hasn't given you a way out of, he says, if you'll ask. And let me add this, if you'll keep asking. Because addictions aren't overcome the first time. They're overcome as you continue to act by faith in God, to overcome the temptation by asking God to help you to be redeemed from it, forgiven, and released from it. Over a period of time, you'll begin to find yourself free of the desire for that addiction. And one day you'll wake up and go, I haven't even thought of that temptation for weeks, because you become not just forgiven, but completely cleansed. And that's what 1 John 1:9 says. Confess your sins, because he'll not only forgive us, but he'll cleanse us of all unrighteousness. So is it a pattern of working and following God to get free? Yeah, it's the same pattern that got you into it to begin with. Someone, you got a little temptation here, it took a little bite, next thing you know, you're eating the whole thing. Well, the same thing's true of following God. You just take a step, and you keep taking a step, and you keep seeking him, and you keep realizing that he's your only answer. And as you do that, you'll reach the point where you're free of it. It's no longer you. You don't desire it. You don't want it. You can see it and not even care about it, because it's not you anymore. That's how you overcome addictions. He's not giving you anything you can't handle if you ask for him for help in the midst of your struggle. Don't hide it. Don't act like it didn't happen. Don't act like it's something nobody else knows. He knows. So seek him, ask for forgiveness, and continue to seek him to have you be completely not only forgiven, but free from it completely.